Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Source. Break even Monday in the MLB. We went 3-3-1 with some plus money hits, so it was literally break even. Tuesday, 15 games. Only had time to go through a few of them in this video, but on the live show at 4 p.m. Eastern time, we'll go through all 15. So let's dive in.
Welcome to the Source. The Source. Hey, get the Source.
First up, Detroit at Cleveland. Michael Lorenzen pitching against Shane Bieber. Cleveland opens up minus 235 favorites. Total opens up at 7.5. Let's take a look at the spreadsheet. According to the model, after 5 innings, we're looking at 2-0 Tigers. Final score, 3-0 Tigers. Model likes Detroit and the under. So Shane Bieber on the mound. In his career, he's had a lot of success pitching against this Detroit lineup. Cleveland is 8-4 in Bieber's 12 career starts against the Tigers. But honestly, what right-handed starter doesn't have great numbers against the Tigers over the last handful of years? They all do. That doesn't really show me much because this Tigers lineup is performing differently than we've seen against in years past. Just to give you some numbers to indicate just how good Shane Bieber has been against this Tigers lineup, just a 216 OBA, 568 OPS, and a 28.2% strikeout rate in 88 at-bats. So a decent sample size. But once again, I don't really care because this Tigers lineup is hitting differently right now. Also, since we're talking about Shane Bieber, is he overvalued? Seriously, just hear me out here. Shane Bieber has faced some really weak lineups to this point and still has a 4.88 expected ERA. That's 2 runs higher than his actual ERA. Shane Bieber is in the bottom 20th percentile in the league in average exit velocity, hard hit percentage, expected batting average, and strikeout rate. These numbers indicate to me that he's due to get rocked, and against the Tigers lineup that's kind of hot right now, I think we can count on him to get a few runs across here. On the other side, we got Michael Lorenzen pitching for Detroit. It's kind of tough to get a read on this guy right now. He's had 2 terrible starts, but he's also had 2 excellent starts this season. One thing we do like about him in this spot are specifically his splits against left-handed bats. He's been far better against lefties. 291 WOBA, that's really good. Just a 184. Lefties are hitting just 184 off Lorenzen. The reason I bring that up is 6 of Cleveland's bats in their starting lineup are lefties, and that's including 5 of the first 6 guys in their lineup. So those good numbers Lorenzen has against lefties, you gotta like that if you're considering a Tigers bet here. Another thing, Lorenzen's main issue has been allowing home runs, right? Giving up the long ball. Well, here's the thing. The Cleveland Guardians have no power right now. They sit 29th in isolated power at just .101 and 30th in home runs per game at .53. Also, in Michael Lorenzen's lone start against Cleveland last season, 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 6 scoreless innings. So he had success against this lineup last year. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's keep riding the Tigers here. I think it's worth taking a shot. Give me Detroit first 5 plus a half run at plus 115. Think it's great value there, and I'm taking it. Next game. Next up, Rockies Pirates. I'm skipping this one. I have no interest in backing that kid Seabold, and I have no interest in backing the Pirates lineup against anybody right now. Remember when they were scoring all those runs? No longer. I mean, Pittsburgh might be the coldest lineup in baseball right now, next to Cleveland, so skipping it. Next game. Tampa, Baltimore here. Zach Eflin pitching against Grayson Rodriguez. Rays open up as slight favorites, minus 115. Total opens up at 8.5. We'll take a quick look at the spreadsheet. According to the model, after 5 innings, we're looking at 6-2 Tampa. Final score 7-3 Tampa. Look, I don't trust Zach Eflin on the road, but he does have some great numbers against left-handed bats. So that's a redeeming factor there. Also, I know you've heard Prop Beaver say this before, but whenever I see Zach Eflin now, I always think about how the Rays gave him the biggest contract they've ever given a starting pitcher, which says something because that's not a team who usually splurges as far as spending, especially on starting pitching. So they see something they like in this kid. So that gives me a little bit of confidence when I look at Zach Eflin. On the other hand, we got Grayson Rodriguez, and I mean, straight up, I don't really trust this dude at all. He's had some easy competition, to say the least. Look at his starts, right? He's got 6 starts. Kansas City, Detroit twice, Chicago White Sox, Oakland, and Texas. So that's 5 teams he's pitched against. 4 of them are in the bottom 10 against right-handed pitching this year. So it doesn't exactly instill a ton of confidence on Grayson Rodriguez. And then it gets worse. Despite pitching against such a low level of competition, despite facing these terrible lineups against righties, he's still got a 5.46 ERA and 1.6 home runs per 9, a 154 whip. He's not even pitching well against these lineups. And in case you haven't heard, Tampa's pretty good. They have the best record in baseball for a reason. When it comes to hitting right-handed pitching, they're first in WRC plus on the season. Prop Beaver likes Rays first 5 team total over here. I don't hate that. I mean, how could you not like the Rays money line here at this minus 125 price? I'm not going to lie, it freaks me out a little bit. That's why I'm not going to give a definitive answer on this. I want to see what the line does. I would theoretically like to see the action. Well, the action's going to come in on Tampa. We already know that. I would like to see the line move a little bit and maybe bet this at Tampa money line at minus 135. I know it's less value, but I would like to see the line move that way because I'm a little scared. It looks like a trap. So I'll let you know on the live show at 4 p.m. tomorrow. Next game. Mets versus Reds. I mean, straight up, I can't back the Mets at this crazy price right now. They're still pricing the Mets as if they're an elite team in the NL. They must be watching a different Mets because I'm not seeing that. I'm a Mets fan. I would love to see them turn it around. And when they do turn it around, hey, let's get back to betting the Mets. But if they're going to continue to price the Mets as a team that's going to win 100 games, then I'm going to continue to either fade them or pass. And on this one, I would say Reds or pass. If you want to take Reds plus 1.5 against a struggling Mets team, maybe, but I'm just going to pass. Next game. Toronto at Philly. Alek Manoah pitching against Aaron Nola. Phillies open up as slight favorites, minus 115. Total opens up at 8.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. After 5 innings, we're looking at 3-3, knotted up. Final score 5-3 Toronto. So both of these pitchers really tough to get a feel for right now. The one angle I like for the Phillies bats, Alek Manoah, his pitch mix, 87% of Manoah's pitches are the four-seam fastball, the sinker, and the slider. Over the last 3 weeks, the Phillies are 4th in WOBA and 7th in isolated power against right-handed pitchers with that mix. But other than that, I feel like everything else points towards Toronto. Blue Jays bats have been better. The Blue Jays bullpen has been much better. At the plus money, it's tough to pass up the Blue Jays here. If you watch this channel, you know I have no problem fading Aaron Nola as a home favorite. I like betting him as a road dog. But the thing is, we're talking about Alek Manoah on the road here against a lineup that analytically should smash him. So I really don't know if I can get there. I'll say Toronto or pass. I'll let you know a definitive answer on the live show tomorrow. Next game. A's at Yankees. There's no way I'm going to lay minus 225 with Clark Schmidt on the mound. Like, no chance in hell. So I guess I'll say Oakland or pass, but maybe the line isn't open yet, but maybe I might try to squeeze a sneaky little Oakland first 5 team total over in there if you can get it over 1.5 at a nice price. Like I said, it's not open yet, but I'll let you know on the live show 4 p.m. tomorrow. Next game. Boston at Atlanta. Nick Pivetta pitching against Charlie Morton. Atlanta opens up at minus 155 favorites. Total opens up at 9.5. Look at the spreadsheet on this one. According to the model, after 5 innings, we're looking at 5-5. After 9 innings, we're looking at 7-7. So a heavy lean to the over, which isn't surprising the way these lineups have been hitting. From a pure value standpoint, how do we bail on Boston here? I mean, they got held to 1 run on Sunday, yes. But are we really going to let one Sunday game? Sunday MLB games are always weird, by the way. It's a getaway day. A lot of times players rest. It's just a weird day for baseball. Are we really going to let one Sunday game deter us from what we've seen from these Red Sox bats over the last week and a half? This Red Sox lineup is still first in nearly every single offensive category, especially against right-handed pitching. And now they face Charlie Morton, who struggles bad against left-handed bats. This is kind of a nightmare spot for Charlie Morton, considering Boston starts regularly 6 lefties in their lineup. And not only is it just 6 lefties, their best hitters are lefties. Verdugo, Yoshida, Devers. I mean, look at Morton's numbers against left-handed bats here. 384 WOBA, 1.88 home run per 9, 12.9 walk percentage. The Red Sox have some disciplined batters too. That's concerning when you're facing Boston. A 174 whip. I mean, this guy has really struggled to get left-handed bats out. Boston lineup should be tough for Morton. Now, I know Nick Pivetta's on the other side, and I'm not necessarily a Pivetta fan. In fact, I usually like fading him That being said, he's definitely proven to be serviceable on the road. Through his last 18 road starts, this is dating back to last season, got a 4.13 ERA with a 3.03 WOBA, 232 OBA. It's really not terrible. He's a decent pitcher on the road. I don't necessarily love Boston to win this game, but at plus 165, I can't pass up at that value. I can't pass up on that value. So I'm taking Boston money line at plus 165. Won't be a huge bet, but I think it's worth the shot. Next game. My apologies. We actually ran out of time. Like I said, I took yesterday off, so we're off to a slow start today. We're going to go through all 15 games on the live show at 4 p.m. So if you want to hear me go through the rest, Prop Beaver will be joining me. We'll go through all 15 games. We'll go through the line movement like we do every day. That'll be 4 p.m. Eastern time. If you're able to catch it, great. I'll see you there. 15 games. It's Tuesday. It's a loaded slate. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you on Twitter.